Welcome back to the Mindcrack. We are doing more work on the small starter house today, and it's starting to look a little bit more like what I would hoped it would in my brain. There's always this part of a project when or at least for me, I have some idea, and it looks freaking awesome in my head. I'm wondering, once I start building it, is it gonna look awesome, or is it going to look terrible? Is it gonna fail? And some ideas just never end up the way I want them to. And I was a little unsure. Once I started some of these farms, the different sections, I was a little unsure if this was gonna work. If maybe this was gonna be a big dud. But I'm feeling so much better about it now. Now that we have a few sections of these white fragments going, it's getting dark. Let's get in the house. I don't think I closed the front door for Zed Camera either. But he's safe. He's up top. I just got back recently. I did a pretty good amount of caving. Got a lot more nether quartz, which I've mostly used up in our new section here, which is going to be the pumpkin farm. Let's come right up here and take a look at the outside shell. We need to get inside before the monsters start swarming us. Oh, hi Zed. There he is. Hey, buddy. So there is the wheat farm's over there. Pumpkin farm's going to be right that. It's going to be right that. And here's some scaffolding. I really need to start making shears and start using leaf blocks for scaffolding again. It's much quicker to remove. It's a lot easier on my iron picks. I'm limiting myself to iron picks for these kind of things until I have a overabundance of diamond gear. I haven't used any kind of experience grinder yet. All my experience comes from killing monsters and caving and cooking food and breeding animals, all that kind of stuff. Let's see, did I do anything else? I named my helmet Warded Saleh, so they're all themed there. They're all warded with protection. My boots have feather falling. I haven't gotten unbreaking on them yet. We'll get there. Divided up my food out of this box because we were getting a little bit cramped. I was running out of room for things. Upgraded Mazamune to Sharpness 4. This guy I have not named because it's quite expensive. This was, I think I just dropped 30 levels into this. And that's what I got. That's a pretty good turnout. That's what I've been using to kill my cows. To get leather. Got a nice stockpile of leather. We can harvest the farm. I've been doing this periodically. And it's not a huge harvest each time. But I don't need that much, at least not right now. And it'll start to add up. I have to keep reminding myself, this is a starter house. Don't go hog wild. You can go hog wild a little later on the next one, on the biggie. Someone in the last video said that one of the hoppers wasn't quite hooked up right, and I fixed that. People also said I could run water, like a water stream here, and just have the water push everything to, for instance, that one hopper right there, and save on hoppers. I may do that. If nothing else, to save on these hoppers. I kind of like the hopper look, to make it look a little more mechanical. We've got the exposed wiring on the inside. The outside is going to look like a broken up shell. Kind of like the Death Star, like it hasn't been being built in Star Wars Episode 4. Kind of like that, and on the inside you see all the machinery, all the science fiction-y stuff. I guess the outside is science fiction-y too. You know what I mean. Got the wiring, the pistons, that's all exposed. I wrapped the glass around. But anyway, we're going to do the pumpkins in this guy. And it's not going to be this big. What I did for this one is I wanted an idea of what the different pieces looked like. Separated like that. So I just made it kind of big. And we're going to whittle it down a little bit. So this farm is there. This farm is there. And I decided that we needed this one to be poking up higher because I don't want... Here, let's go up a little bit higher. One thing I noticed was starting to happen is that we were going to have a line, an opening all the way around right about there. Now, originally, I had a little platform right about maybe there or there for this farm. And we would have ended up with this opening going all the way around. I want it to be more broken up. So I raised this guy up So there's not a continuous line right there. You've got to sort of trace the cracks more. So I like that, and I like that it's sort of going a little diagonally this way. And I think what we'll do is we'll continue that because this is going to be the sunrise room. So I'm going to carve this one something kind of like that, the direction my cursor is going. Or we can punch the air. I've never really done that. A lot of YouTubers punch with their weapons. Not my thing. I like to point with the cursor. Anyway, we're going to carve this way, and I may carve this a little bit that way, and then the sunrise room could occupy this space in between a little bit. I don't know, but I'm certainly liking the way we're going. Now, the pumpkin farm and the melon farm as well are really the easier ones, which is why I saved them for the corner. These guys would be harder on the building diagonally like that. We would need a little more complicated water. I mean, we could do it. It wouldn't be that hard. But it's a little simpler this way. What am I looking for? We're going to need some dirt. Let's see, how much? Yeah, okay, so I went and farmed some quartz, and we're down to a stack and a half, two and a half stacks, basically. That stuff is getting really hard to find in the nether. I'm starting to regret this decision to use this block. And I wanted to use it on the super house just for one element of the house, the columns I wanted to use it for. I don't know if I will. We'll see, but it's getting hard to find. Let's see. Okay, we'll need dirt. Now, one thing that's awesome and interesting I found out while thinking about this that I didn't really realize is you don't need water to irrigate pumpkins and melons. This is unnecessary. All this does is it allows the vine to grow faster. But once it's grown, it doesn't affect the growth rate of the actual melons and pumpkins. So we can skip the water. I'm going to keep this here because it's my infinite spring for the house right now. But we can skip the water entirely, which makes our design way easier. We can use bone meal to grow the vines. That's all we need to worry about. We are going to need pistons. So let's see. There's no way I used all those pistons. Did I put them in my redstone box? I probably did. Yeah. Okay, 16 pistons. But we're going to need more than that. So let's get another stack there. Another stack there. We're going to need... Well, that's good right there. We're going to need 3 stacks of planks. So put that back. And then 4 stacks of cobblestone. This is one recipe I've done a zillion times. I still get it wrong sometimes, though. There. Yeah. Put the cobblestone on the side. You know, one thing, this is kind of off topic, but I would kind of like there to be some sort of tutorial in Minecraft so that people new to the game aren't forced to use the wiki to learn how to make things. They started sort of doing that with the achievements a little bit, but it still doesn't really tell you how to do things. It tells you the type of things you should be doing. Like, okay, you made a crafting table, now make some weapons, make some tools, chop down some trees, you know, etc. But it doesn't tell you how to do any of it. And if you didn't have a wiki, if you didn't have the some website to go to, I don't know how you would figure out how to play this game. And I think that's kind of a flaw in the game, a pretty big flaw. Maybe that's, I don't know, I'm just sort of talking off the top of my head. Maybe that's why it's so popular on YouTube, because the first thing people do is like, well, what the hell? How do I play this game? I better look up some videos. So maybe, no tutorials. Let's keep the YouTube videos rolling. We can do the redstone later. It should be fairly simple. Okay. So this one's going to be a little weird. I think what we're going to do is do like a corner setup. Let's put the dirt here. So imagine we're up there. And let's get a hoe so I can at least see which ones are which. That would be in here. Okay. So we're going to do like a every other type of thing. So that would be a stem, pumpkin, pumpkin. And then stem, pumpkin, pumpkin. And then we could do piston there. Piston there. And then that would push down into sort of just a central collection area. And we could do several tiers like that. And that would probably be simple enough. And then we could carve this down once we have all that extra space. And I can still take space out of this. This is taking up more space than it's really using. So we may do that. I'm going to do a little bit of building to get that set up. And then we'll take a look at what it looks like. Well, the thing is mostly wired up, and I'm starting to like the way the different farms are maybe going to look. Starting to develop a style with the wiring going up, the quartz slabs, and I think maybe we'll redo this one next time. Maybe not next time. Never mind. I take that back. I don't know what we're doing next time. But after I have maybe one more, we'll start working on a little bit of detailing just to see what that might look like. Last thing we really need to do is to add the hoppers, connect up a button, finish it up. I was building it at first, and I could have sworn that pumpkins need a block of air above them, or at least some kind of transparent block like glass or an upside down stair or something like that. Because I remember the last gourd farm I made for the lens, I remember having that problem of pumpkins not growing where they only had one block of height. So I started building the thing with 2 blocks of height, and just as an experiment, I put dirt blocks over all of these guys, and look what we have. They all grew. They all grew back. So I made it a little more compact, which is good. We can get a little more yield out of it. I think we'll get maybe... Let's see, this will do 3 per level. 3, 4, 8, 12, and then 2 more up there. So a total of 14 per harvest. Not that great, but that's okay. It's just a start out. I keep telling myself this. You know, I really like this gap right there, and I'm wondering if we can put a gap there. So we can do sort of the same thing. The glass is mostly to deflect pumpkins that fly out at weird angles and try and get them to land in the hoppers whenever possible. So we could probably do some of that. Oh, I didn't get any. We are going to need some panes of glass to finish this sucker off before we put the hoppers in and then wire up the button. And 2 stacks is probably enough. I've already harvested this thing a few times. Actually, it's ready to go. Again, let's go ahead and hit it. Hit the button! Just like that. Effortless. I may actually put in a master... There's a really loud bird outside my window. Not sure if you can hear that. My mic is a dynamic mic, so it's much better at phasing out or tuning out sound that's far away. But you may hear that. But there's a bird. I may hook up, after we finish the farms, I may hook up a master control switch that harvests everything with one button. That sounds like fun. I will probably do that. Okay, so let's say 1, 2. Maybe we'll just do 2 blocks like that. Do you think that'll be enough? I have a feeling some of these, if they're going to bounce, well, that may be enough. I'll observe it after we can actually harvest. None of the stalks have actually finished growing. Because there's no water, they're going to grow slow. And once we get done with this, I suppose we could finish them off with bone meal. Might be an idea. Yeah. No, let's not do that one. Let's go back here. Finish up the glass. So this... Then how much gap do we want to leave here? Do we want to leave that corner right there? So we'll go back even more. Maybe like that? I don't know. Depends on what it looks like. I'm more interested in style than substance. It's got to look cool. Function is function's nice. Function is nice, and we're definitely after the function. But if it doesn't look awesome, who cares, right? What's the point? What's the point? Anybody can build a farm. If we don't make it look cool, it's just wasting time. Something like that. I guess we've got... It could be kind of asymmetrical. Maybe that gap is too big. Let's see what it looks like. And what did I say I needed to do just a second ago? Oh, bone meal. That's right, for the stems. Okay, let's back up and take a look. Yeah, I think we could definitely do one more and make that corner, the corner symmetrical. The overall house won't have much symmetry in it, but little details like that, we'll put a little symmetry in. Bone meal. Okay, should be plenty. And before we finish the video, I'll probably just, what I'll probably do is just go AFK for a while and let all the pumpkins grow, and then we'll do some test harvests, or at least one test harvest. Okay, that's full. That's full. Yeah, all right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There's a zombie outside the door. Tell you what, man. I've been shot a few times building this thing from the monsters on the cliffs outside, from the skeletons. Their extended range can hit me from those cliffs when I'm inside my house building. It's a little silly. Okay, and then last thing I was going to do was to extend this guy up one more. And I think that'll look good. I don't have a silk touch yet still. So, breaking glass, and it's gone. Okay, we can have it like that. Then we need to put in some hoppers. So maybe the hopper should come to the corner. This hopper came to the center. There's no real center here because we're on sort of a funny angle. Maybe the two hoppers should lead back to those two blocks. Okay, so I'm going to be using a lot of hoppers here. We could make this more compact, or more efficient, I should say, with some water streams. Well, you know what? I think I actually want these level with that dirt. Let's raise this one. And get rid of that torch. I also haven't really given much thoughts to the lighting. Always seems to be the last thing I think of. Maybe I should do a project one time where that's the first thing we think of. Might be nice. Oops, that one's wrong. Before you post a comment, let me know. I already fixed it. Quicker than you. I'm on top of it. And I guess we will need one there. And a row in the middle. That's a lot of hoppers. That's a lot of metal. I thought I had a lot of metal. I did have a lot of metal. And I've been burning through it like there's no tomorrow. Actually, we need that to go down. like that. So that row is going in there. That row is going in there. Okay, and then the third row will go into this one. I think I want them to come down like a central thing like this. So we'll put the chest maybe a few blocks below there, maybe right here. So let's go ahead and put that there. Like so. And then we can I can break a lot of this scaffolding, which is nice. And then we can finish wiring it up. Okay, the last thing to do is the buttons. And we need to figure out, they're probably going to need a repeater to bring it all the way down there. So we need to count, see how close to the max we are. I think Hi, Zed camera. Zed, can you count for me? No, you're not going to, are you? Let's see. Okay, this is the top level right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break these. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is this guy right there. So that's 11. Remember that number. And then the other side, we're going to need repeaters on either side. So tell you what, I'll finish wiring it up and get rid of all of the scaffolding. And then once the pumpkins have grown, we'll do some tests. Well, they haven't all grown, but I'm kind of sick of waiting. So let's go ahead and test this thing and finish up the video. What do you think, Zed Camera? Think we can go ahead and do a test? Hey, buddy. Hey, can we do a test there? Zed Camera, what do you think? Man, Zed Camera cannot break that guy's focus. He is always recording. You can't interrupt him even if you tried. Look at that. Look at that. Just recording nonstop. All right, so we've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pumpkins out of a whopping total of, what, 14, I think? But 8. So we should get most of those, I think, with the way this is wired, or with how many hoppers I put in there, I should say. Nothing in there now. There they go. Yeah, it seems like they pretty much all fall in that range. And we got all of them. Awesome. So that works. Good. And I'm starting to like the way these are looking. The size is good. I've taken down the barriers between them. So this is nice because it's not going straight up and down. And it gives us this diagonal crack look. This is still going straight up and down. We'll do something about that in a future episode when we do more work on the wheat farm and I guess the sunroom, which is going to be above there. But I guess that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time, I'm not sure what we'll do next time. But it'll be something like this, or we may go back to Spawn Village. Who knows? Hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Take it easy. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Too much English on that ball. There you go. Suck it, creeper.